I have a 5 stock portfolio, and one of those 5 stocks called Robinhood has been having a huge run this past week, these past 2 days even. And it's all of a sudden based on the announcement of the Trump accounts and also the AI trading agents. Let's go ahead and talk about the Trump accounts first. It seems like not a lot of people is aware of the Trump accounts, and it's exactly the main reason why I decided to put a lot of money into Robinhood the past month or two. Now, the reason behind this is that Robinhood, once they go ahead and get into Trump accounts, and let me go ahead and first explain what Trump accounts are. Essentially, the government is going to be putting $1,000 into investment into ETFs of every single U.S. kid that's born in the U.S. from 2025 to 2028. Now, why is this so important? Is because Robinhood is going to be the brokerage that manages all this money. All these assets under management is going to be under Robinhood. But it's not the fee that's the most important thing for Robinhood, because I actually think that's not the biggest deal here. The biggest deal is that Robinhood is now going to become a data analytics company. Think about every single US kid that's born in the US, all their data is going to be given to Robinhood. Robinhood has to go ahead and have their full names, their addresses, date of birth, social security, and on top of that, the parents and guardians of these kids, they will be interacting with Robinhood as well. So that's one of the biggest bull reasons why I wanted to invest into the company, and not just because not everybody knew about these programs, I thought was a huge bullish sentiment in why I wanted to buy in the very first place. Now, what reminded me of the Trump accounts was about how Costco utilizes their credit cards. There's so many banks out there, you guys, that want to be the bank partner of Costco, because they know that Costco customers, they can afford stuff. They're middle income or higher income, and not only that, the Costco's customers are the type of customers that the banks want to have. So as a result, so many banks go ahead and compete for those same Costco customers, because those Costco customers will then go ahead and go into those banks to make their credit card payments, in which is a marketing strategy to go ahead and gain more clientele. Now, the same idea applies for Robinhood. All these parents that's going to be interacting with Robinhood, they're going to be realizing that at least some of them are going to realize that, man, the interface with Robinhood is pretty darn good. It's pretty amazing compared to the traditional brokerage account that I use. And it's one of the biggest bull thesis that I have. And not only that, when these kids start getting older, they're going to realize, like, hey, I already have an investment account at Robinhood. Might as well go ahead and open my bank account with them as well. Might as well I go ahead and open up my regular taxable brokerage with them as well. It's a huge thesis that not many people are realizing. And I love that Robinhood kind of stole this playbook right from Costco strategy, because one of the things that I really admired about Robinhood and Costco at the same time was that in one of the interviews from CNBC, the CEO Vlad Tenev was sharing with the viewers on how he admired Costco business model, on how they had that membership, and this is one of those things that I really think Robinhood took play out of Costco's playbook. Now, on the second part with the AI agentic trading, this kind of caught me off guard. I really did not believe that in 2026 we're going to have agentic AI trading. The reason why this is such a surprise for me is because of how fast technology is moving. All right, just about 40 years ago, during the 1980s, if me and you wanted to go ahead and purchase into a stock, we're going to have to pay $35 to $40, right? And this is where Charles Schwab became so big, is because they were one of the few discount brokerages where, hey, instead of paying maybe even $100 to make a trade, to make a buy or sell order, you can pay us $30, right? It made it a lot more streamlined. And then in the dot-com bubbles, it was around $20. And then right before Robinhood came out in 2013 with commission-free trading, we were paying about $10 to $7. And now, in just a few years, within a 40-year time span, you guys, we now have an opportunity to have AI basically make trades on our behalf. Now, some viewers might have the question of, hey, when it comes to this agentic AI trading, this isn't this like a limit order? Well, there's a huge difference between a limit order and now an agentic AI trading agent, which is that with the limit order, right? It makes a purchase or does a sell based on a specific price point, based on a specific stock price point, right? Let's say, for example, sell Robinhood if it reaches to $80. That's a limit order. But when it comes to agentic AI trading, you can have so many different prompts on there, right? For example, you can say, hey, if Robinhood beats their earnings by 5%, go ahead and buy the stock. Or hey, if Robinhood beats the earnings by 5%, and on top of that, if the jobs report comes out to be increased by 5%, go ahead and buy the company. Like there's so many different rules that can come out of this because the only people that I know that have been using agentic AI trading or using bots have been hedge funds. And I really love that with this agentic AI trading, it's allowing the consumer to have very similar powers as the hedge funds. Now, I did have some questions about agentic AI trading, which I was able to gain some answers for. The very first thing was, what happens if this agentic AI, this agent goes haywire, it starts hallucinating, and now I'm stuck in a trade that I don't want? Well, that's going to be a big issue, right? Because now it has tax complications. It has, all my money is going to be locked up, or I could take a loss on it. This is one of those technologies that before the bank or financial institutions ever came out with it, they had to have a ton of testing to make sure that hallucinations is not going to be a possibility. The second question that I had was, what about the information that the AI has? Is there going to be some sort of delay? All right. Well, luckily, the information that the AI will have is real time. That information is going to be instantaneously. What will have some sort of a delay is when it comes to the speed of execution. There may be some time where we have some latency issues between the data that the AI is trying to execute and when it gets to the actual order, which could be about 100 to 200 milliseconds here, which in my personal opinion, okay, not too bad. It's not perfect. It's not like what the same product that the hedge funds have, but it is a lot better than what we used to have. And these two big causes, one is the Trump accounts, and the second thing being the agentic AI trading, has made essentially Robinhood stock go up by 23% in literally 2 days. As somebody that's holding Robinhood stock, my whole thesis is playing out. Now, when it comes to agentic AI, that was a cherry that came on top. That was a bonus that I did not expect. But if the company starts booming up so much like this, at a certain point, I might start thinking about trimming it a little bit because Robinhood is one of those companies that when it goes up big time. And when it goes down, oh man, there could be times when Robinhood goes down by 50% within just a few months and nobody blinks an eye. So that's all I have for today, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys for the next episode. Thank you.